Kwame Warfield, MESA alumnus. Originally began in MESA in 1987 in the 7th grade, I believe we started. I'm currently sit on the MESA Regional Equity Committee at the moment. I've done that last year and I'm sitting on it again this year. MESA's has moved on to. It's beautiful to see that it's moved outside of just the greater Portland metro area. That's wonderful to see from my perspective, being involved in it so long and seeing it ebb and flow a little bit, but just now it's looking like it's really has a very strong footing and support. And I actually kind of I like to see the refreshment of people going through, because it kind of gives people a chance to become involved. And MESA's always, it's always been something to use for both students and professionals. It's a great place to get a lot of exposure, a lot of connections, and establish yourself in the community to be able to make bigger moves as you move on. Because being involved in MESA, you see a lot of people and a lot of positive things, and their focus on different populations and to just keep kids around, because we the northeast Portland gentrification aspects of change, where you have children that are no longer in areas anymore, and moved on and dispersed around it, which has been a thing that Portland has notoriously done forever, in terms of the way the minority populations bounce around, and a bit of the disenfranchisement that Portland is very guilty of. And there's a lot of efforts that are working to address those ills that have been done in the past. Being able to ride that wave of growth and change, and accomplish even greater tasks by being involved in those moves. The adjustments of getting the kids back in the classrooms, and also, the aspects of, okay, are the kids themselves, it's like, gee, are we going to be in school for long enough to even start getting back into this groove, or is it kind of, we're going to be in this limbo state? It's like you still have children that are not actively in schools at times at the moment, so it's a challenge developing virtual demonstrations and tour aspects and stuff like that, so for the students to connect and have a place and a link to be able to learn about these companies and utilize these new online portals and stuff that these companies are developing. In terms of the equity and seeing different faces and backgrounds, but also, focused on people who are trying to, the opportunity, that's like I say, that's the beauty of what I see of MESA, is just not just the children getting opportunities, it's the young professionals and established professionals that are able to come through and get and find jobs that are working and able to pay bills and get involved with stuff, but also be able to do stuff, fulfilling stuff that is part of the community, and really important for, which is in the equity of it all, and the opportunity of getting trained to skills and exposure to things that are going to allow you to have a better grasp of what's going on. So in the end, you can gain more money and resources for yourself and your families as you establish yourself, and then you're in positions to be able to give back, because if your resources ain't right as you move on, you don't have the time or opportunity to give back, because you're just busy trying to keep up. So therefore, when that's an interesting, concept you have to really put at these children and kids understands, like, hey, it's about these skills of you getting those skills so you can have the whole motto of less back, more pay. Aspects of Mesa needs to, work with parents, and that was something that I saw a couple over the virtual thing that was really, that I did really like to see, was that they were involving Mesa family nights where the whole family was involved on the phone in the call and doing things and participating and having a great time at night and doing games and then participating in stuff. And those are, which right there, when you have a whole entire family, you're going to touch the kids, the ones that see that, because they're going to be involved and see it's cool, and they're going to want to be like their brother and sister, and the dads and moms are going to make sure and support and take the time and effort and necessities to be able to go out and about and put themselves in positions to support the children in what they're doing, that you can participate and be involved and not be forced to work weird shifts and things like that, to where you can't be involved with the students and doing things. So those are all, those are big circles of stuff that really, touch the family as a whole. And that goes right back to the continued equity of allowing everyone to be involved in the process of getting better. For me, it's the beauty of the lasting aspects that Mesa provides, and the rejuvenation that it brings with each with new generations and stuff. Because it's, for me, I have grandchildren now, and so when I hear, and I have grandchildren, they're involved in different things, and for me, we had the first circle of life where one of my grandchildren's teachers was a good friend of mine from high school, and that guy's friend, this Carlos LaGuardia, is a teacher at the elementary school there. Him and Carlos LaGuardia, Armando LaGuardia, and my father Donald Warfield were friends from college back here at U of O in the late 60s. Wow. So, when you're talking, that's a lot of time, of circles of influence and time. So you can talk back, and when you talk about equity in history, you can talk about the efforts, how far things have gone back to establish the seeds. And when you see 2 and 3 generations moving forward that have been here in Oregon and utilizing the opportunities and the growth that's taken place, I mean, hey, that's the proof that it works. Continued growth of Mesa, continue to work on the partnerships, being able to, as we're getting back to moving things around and figuring out how to still continue to physically do stuff and that needs to be done, to continue to work on what do we have to do to make the changes so students can continue to get that exposure, so the students aren't just isolated to little certain things and have to see things, but figure out whether the changes to make access available. I just want to see that we can all continue to work with each other, and just where people, like myself, I had a conversation with my cousin the other day on, even as people like myself are getting, aging and getting older, and seeing, and just having the energy and the time and effort of just keeping the gumption and the opportunities to provide what you do have in ways that make it easy too, because it's not just students you got to make easy for stuff. You got to do things that make it easy for professionals and people who are involved in doing stuff in a way that everybody continues to have access to whatever part of that circle they're in, or have the opportunity to jump into the circle in the first place.